Hey guys, it's Doesn't Matter,
Ellen the Dream.
and this is our fifth episode, I believe, of our podcast, Confessions of a Stan Mixer Edition. Today, we are going to be sharing with you guys our music video rankings, and we were fairly comprehensive, or I really hope we were. If we forgot some, don't come at us in the comments. See, we have 31, so if there's not 31, our bad.
I already forgot one and had to put it in about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, she's being polite. We both forgot it. Here's my disclaimer before we start. Most of these could move up or down 2 or 3 spaces and it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, same here.
It's more like a top, upper middle, lower middle, bottom situation than it is like a super strict number by number ranking. All right, that being said, I'll kick us off. So coming in number 31 would be Dreaming Together. For those of you who do not know, it's a collab that they did with the Japanese girl group Flower. For a long time, it was blocked, I think, in other countries, but in the last few years or so, it got unblocked and it is available on YouTube. And I think I have a feeling that I know what the Dreams uh, number 31 is also going to be. So I'm going to wait before I talk about why I don't like it.
Yeah, it is also Dreaming Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, full disclaimer, guys, we actually last week realized she'd never seen it before, and I knew it existed. And like I'd watched it, God, I can't remember how long ago. And I was like, we were like, oh, should we include it when we, go to rank these? And she was like, oh, well, we can't see it. And I was like, no, 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 we can. And so I showed it to her, and we spent far longer than we should have.
Like 2 hours.
And we realized that there's quite a bit of like editing on all of it.
It's like imagine Facetune, but subtle.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, like I recommend that you guys we're gonna blow this song up. I recommend that you guys look at the video. Uh and there's just like some weird face changes and some body changes and like I mean not to mention that this doesn't play into the music video ranking, but also like guys, Jessie sings so much of that song, and I'm gonna guarantee that you didn't know that because her voice is almost unrecognizable.
Yeah. A lot of the changes are like nose changes and eye changes that we realize. So it's like it's very subtle, but it's there once you realize it.
Yeah.
It's just if you really look at it, you'll see like more as you watch.
Yeah, you won't be able to necessarily like pinpoint exactly what's wrong. You'll just look at that and be like, "Wait a second."
Especially with Leanne.
Yeah, especially with Leanne. There's quite a few shots of Leanne where you're like, "Wait, is that Leanne?"
Yeah.
So definitely that. I don't recommend. Whoa, guys! When you go to watch it, turn your volume down. Volume down.
It's very loud. We learned that the hard
It's
way.
very It's very loud, and it's deceiving at first because the music doesn't start right away, and so you think it's not that loud. It's really loud. Turn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so the reason it slides in at 31 is honestly just because, like, they're edited, like, they're face-tuned, photoshopped, however you wanna, go about saying it. It's just I like my girls unaltered,
Yeah.
um, but I will say if they weren't edited, I probably would have given it a higher ranking because I did actually like the scenery and the backgrounds and like that type of stuff. It was a cool way to shoot like a collab like that. So I thought that was interesting. But that does not override the I guess we'll call it face tuning, but it wasn't actually face tune. All right. And then right above that one, I have Breakup Song, which is probably not a surprise.
I have Only You.
I have Breakup Song because I mean, it's a pandemic, music video from home. Like the felt thing was cool, but it was a bit of a hot mess in my opinion. I mean, they tried, but it just can't compare to actually produced production music videos. I honestly think the lyric video for Breakup Song is superior to the official music video.
Yeah, I really like the lyric video.
Me too. All right, defend your choice of Only You.
Okay. So for Only You, I honestly I've only seen it a few times because I don't particularly go back and watch that one. Um, Really, it's just because they're not in it, so I don't typically watch it. And I think the first time I watched it, I was just a little confused at first because it wasn't at all what I was imagining for the song. Like I like the video, it's just not what I was imagining. Like I wasn't imagining like a party. I was imagining more like I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not really sure, honestly. I just because they aren't in it. That's pretty much the only reason why it's solo.
That's fair. That's kind of what I thought you would say.
Yeah,
Next one I have coming in at 29 is One I've Been Missing.
I have Breakup Song.
One I've Been Missing. I have a lot of the same issues with One I've Been Missing that I have with Wasabi, which we'll get to very, very, very shortly. um, and I mean, to just keep it concise, they're just very poorly done, kind of unprofessional looking music videos. And um, to be fair, it's a low budget, like not really well planned music video. Uh, so that's not like a dig at the girls or anything like that. Like it's just a fact. It's a very unprofessional done video that lacks direction and was thrown together and um, doesn't bring much to the song, I think, and is some of it's a little bit cheesy with the editing. So it comes in at 29 for me.
Breakup Song is pretty similar to like what you said. It's just like it was cute and stuff, but it just isn't comparable to like not actual music videos, but the other ones that they've done. I'm really curious to know what their original plan was.
Was it
So,
Breakup Song or was it Sweet Melody that was supposed to be filmed in Brazil?
um,
Because I saw, or was it Holiday?
I
But
think
maybe
it
it
was
was Holiday.
Holiday.
Yeah, because everyone was like, "Oh, Breakup Song was supposed to be filmed in Brazil," and then it came out that, like, it was supposed to be the second single that was filmed in Brazil, which is Holiday.
Yeah, I think Holiday was supposed to be filmed in Brazil, but I know they had some other plan for Breakup Song.
Alright, coming at number 28, I have Wasabi.
I also have Wasabi.
Alright, so I've already spoken on why, I don't like the music video for Wasabi. Uh, and for anyone who wants a super in-depth take on it, you can go to the unofficial music video I did for it back in, it says June. And under my pinned comment, someone asked me, and I gave a very, very long reply. But just to kind of skim on it, uh, basically, because I love Wasabi so much, I really wanted the music video to be great, and so was extra disappointed when it wasn't. Whereas, like, what I've been missing, I kind of expected to not get its fair shake. Wasabi, I was hoping was going to get better, and in reality, they're both the same level, really. Wasabi has no theme, does not have much creative direction or consistent creative direction, doesn't have color consistency, um, isn't well distributed, and isn't isn't like they had a concept going for them that they didn't stick with or really use. None of the way the girls actually filmed their solo parts matches the tone of the music video that the other girls filmed, so it's really mismatched. And I have a huge long spiel on it, guys, if you really want to know more. But there's just a lot of things about it that just didn't work for me.
Yeah. It feels like one of those music videos that you make with your friends, which is fine, but I would have liked a more structured one because it would have had so much more potential if they would have done a like planned out one. Um and this doesn't really have to do with like the actual music video, but it kind of weighed in with the ranking. If they would have posted it earlier on, like when Wasabi was blowing up, I feel like it would have just done better. But
I also just think there was a lot of missed opportunities. Like, I don't even necessarily, when I say like I'm disappointed in it, I don't even necessarily mean like, oh, I wish we'd had a full out, like full structured, huge production budget music video, but like they had like tour choreography, and like Jade's scenes were primarily, she even was wearing her wasabi outfit in the beginning. Like her scenes were primarily primary colors, which is what they did on stage, which means they could have used that as a consistent theme and aesthetic in the video, but they didn't. And then um, and then they didn't put any of the onstage choreo into the music video, which would have just helped it tremendously because A, it would have given it choreo, B, it would have given it a more cohesive look, and then C, it would have matched parts of Jade's scenes, and then you could have gotten rid of some of the absurd scenes that shouldn't have been in it, like Perry accidentally throwing a shoe at one of the stylers, and her dancing around in a bathroom. So there's just during a dressing fitting. So there's just like, also you could have gotten rid of Jesse sitting there playing with a makeup brush for the entire time. And then also a lot of the scenes that were used, especially in One I've Been Missing too, like there's still the tour behind the scenes that we saw on Insta, like it wasn't even new footage. So, and that's the same thing with Wasabi. It's the behind the scenes footage. Like a lot of it was just like footage they just had laying around from the Instagram series of the tour diaries that they just put in the music video to put in the music video. So I just think that even with the limited resources they had, there was a better way to go about it. And honestly, I think that Jade should have taken on her first debut director role because I think that her scenes have the most potential in Wasabi and that she should have driven that creative direction and kind of forced everyone to take it a bit more seriously because it would have been really cool. And then we could have had our own little director, Jade.
yeah, it was just really inconsistent.
Yes. Sorry, I just went on a total another rant. Sorry. I feel very passionately about the Wasabi music video, guys. After that, oh god, I'm gonna be so unpopular.
Oh no.
At number 27, I Have Wings.
I have nothing else matters.
Okay, so here's the thing. Fetus Little Mix is great, but Fetus Little Mix also was kind of uncomfortable in front of cameras still and unsure exactly about how to make a music video. And we're trying to push a Spice Girls personality symbol thing. And uh also I just didn't really like the super flowery editing and the really bright aesthetic. That's just like that aesthetic just isn't for me in general on any video, but I didn't like it in that video. The editing was also, I don't know, like the transitions and stuff. I'm not just not really a fan. And the choreography was super limited and barely there. So I would have preferred more of the choreography and less of some of the other stuff. And that's why it's at number 27. Please don't hate me.
For nothing else matters, it's kind of similar to Wasabi, just that it feels like like a compilation video because it is. Um, and just a lot of the clips were from the documentary, so a lot of them weren't that new. And nothing else matters isn't super high on my rankings for like songs, so I just don't really watch it that much. But yeah.
I'll wait to make my comment until I actually get to Nothing Else Matters. Number 26. I'm going to slide Black Magic in.
I have Cannonball.
Um, yeah, whatever. Black Magic is their first single music video that had a huge budget and they were in LA and I think maybe it was their first time working with Director X, and it's like a movie, and there's special effects, and da 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 da. And it's a Disney film, and I'm just not interested in it.
For Cannonball, it's just similar to like Wasabi Nothing Else Matters. It's just a lot of clips I've already seen. Um, and yeah, that's really it.
All right, then in number 25, I'm gonna slide in "Love Me Like You."
I don't want to say mine. it's it's DNA.
Oh, that's fine. That is such poor special effects. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, my turn. Love Me Like You. Okay, I have it at 25 because again, it's very similar logic to the Black Magic thing. It's a high school dance like movie. Like there's nothing else really to it. Like I if I wanted to watch a movie, I would watch a movie. I also don't particularly like those songs, so it doesn't help the music videos. Because I might be more forgiving of the music videos if I actually enjoyed the songs, but I don't like either one, and so they're not getting that benefit of the doubt.
For DNA, I just didn't really get the whole like superhero thing. Um, it just isn't what I would have imagined for the song, so it kind of threw me for a surprise. It's definitely grown on me, but just it could have been edited a little bit better, like the effects and the like coloring is just kind of weird, which I think it's supposed to be, but it just looks
I
off to
like the
me.
coloring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like the well, not necessarily of all of it, but the general coloring of like the black and white with the super saturated reds and like purples and stuff.
Yeah, there's like a few scenes that just look off, and I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, yeah, there are some scenes where the color correction isn't quite doing its job correctly.
Yeah, and that kind of like ruined it for me, I think.
Yeah. But generally speaking, I like that aesthetic. That like feels very it feels very noir.
Yeah. Everything else I liked. It just threw me for like a little bit of a loop because I don't know why I just wasn't really expecting that type of music video to go with it.
Yeah, yeah, some of it didn't make sense to me either. Like some of the scenes didn't really go together.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, number 24. I am going to slide in Word Up.
I have Holiday.
Word Up. I mean, it's sassy and fun, but ultimately, like, they're just at a gym with some guys ogling them, and then they're in a gymnasium doing some really boring, like, exercises. And then I know it's supposed to be cool that a Spice Girl joined them, but I wasn't enough of a fan of a Spice Girls to think it was that cool.
For Holiday, it's kind of the same thing as DNA. It just wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Like I know that they had a lot of restrictions, they had to follow certain guidelines so they couldn't do what they wanted like originally, but I would have preferred their other idea. Even though we don't really know what it is, just I have a feeling I would have preferred that over what we got.
I'm saving my thoughts until I actually get to it. 23, I have How You Doing?
This one actually hurts me, but it's more than words.
Oof.
Yeah.
How You Doing? So it's got like a similar thing for me as the Wings one, but to a lesser extent, which is why it's higher up. So it's got again some of that color aesthetic I don't like, those like really bright like yellows and like pinks and stuff that I'm just not a super fan of. It also has I wonder if it was the same director. It also has like that same idea of like we walked into a back closet and it opened up into like a choreo area. Anyway, that was yeah, I don't know. It has a similar vibe to Wings. However, what I do like about How You Doing is when they're in that little like room doing their individual parts. It's like the patterned black and white room, and there might be another version of that room too that I just am not remembering right now. But when they're doing that, I think that actually looks really cool. I mean, it's still pretty low, guys. It reminds me it shares a lot of similarities with Wings, but I like it better than Wings, and then I like the song. So then I'm lenient to make the music video better because of the song. Does that make sense to anyone?
Yeah.
So it's not rated based on how much I like the song, but I'm a tiny bit more forgiving of it because I like the song.
Okay, so more than words. I really like what they did with like the rain and how they had Camille in it and like how they had like the little pieces of color and it was very like monotone with that color and I really liked it. Just for me it's just really repetitive because we saw only one location and one, I guess, I don't want to say concept, but just like it was just very similar. All the scenes were very similar, which I know is like the idea, but I just like the other ones more than that, pretty much.
Number 22, I have Think About Us.
I have wings.
All right, Think About Us. I have it at number 22 because I didn't really like the creative direction. I wish there had been choreo. The concept for it, if you even want to give it the benefit of the doubt and calling it a concept, is weak and not original. And the costuming wasn't that great. Makeup wasn't that great. Nothing really special happening with hair. It was cool that Andre was in it with Lee. It's kind of the coolest thing about it. The special effects weren't really that great. Like the most cool thing was the butterflies, and the butterflies were still kind of obviously fake. I just think that I don't like the song, but I still think that there could have been a better music video for the song.
For wings, it's pretty much what you said. They just hadn't become that comfortable in front of a camera, so a lot of it was kind of awkward because they didn't really know what to do. Um, but what I like about wings is that it's what I would picture for the song. Um, so that kind of made it go up a little bit in my ranking. But yeah, you could just tell that they weren't as comfortable as like they are now in front of the camera.
Okay, number 21, I have Only You.
I have Little Me.
All right, so I have Only You at number 21 because Only You doesn't have the girls in it, which is like a huge like thumbs down. But at the same time, I like mermaids and I'm all for having a lesbian couple or at least a female female relationship, romantic interest happening. They're not necessarily lesbians, star in the music video. So purely based on like legit just the visuals of it is basically how it's so high on the list. But it doesn't have Little Mix. It don't really understand what has to do much with the song, but I'm all for a music video that's got representation and has mermaids in it. So
I put Little Me there. It's kind of similar to like More Than Words. It was the whole video was monotone and like black and white. I liked how they had the kids speaking in it. That was cool. But other than that, it was just very repetitive just because they were in the same like building the whole time. And yeah, that's really it.
yeah. All right, number 20, I have Secret Love Song.
I have one I've been missing.
I like the outdoor scenes of Secret Love Song where they're like walking along the river, and I've actually like been there, so it's easier for me to picture it because I know exactly where they are while they're doing it. But ultimately, I don't really like the coloring that was chosen for the music video. It's got a lot of like really earthy warm tones to it, which just isn't my personal aesthetic preference. I mean, and then Jason's part just fits really weirdly into it in my opinion. Like not just vocally, like visually, it's a really weird. They're like crying outside, like belting their hearts out, and he's like inside dancing the moonwalk or something. I don't know. It didn't fit for me.
So for one I've been missing, I was hoping for more of a concept because it was four very different scenes. Like all had a similar idea, but I was kind of hoping for more like a storyline that you could follow and maybe just them all being together for at least like one shot. And like they had like that kaleidoscope transition which I thought
It's so bad.
it just like doesn't fit well.
That is what you use when you're 8 and you're learning how to edit an iMovie.
Yeah, I just
Was that
I
too mean? I don't mean to be mean. I just like wow, that choice.
I was just hoping for more like a storyline to follow. Because that was what I was expecting, and then when that wasn't what we got, I was a little, I don't want to say disappointed, but like I kind of was, just because I had gotten my hopes up really high.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time that it came out that it was going to be another version of Wasabi. I thought a little bit more went into it. Uh, so I was actually a bit surprised when I realized that it was basically just another version of Wasabi, but with a different song.
Yeah.
At number 19, I have Little Me.
I have Think About Us.
All right, so Little Me. It's kind of what you said, is very monotone and pretty repetitive. The best thing about the music video is the interjections from the people who are talking,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make it. If the best part of the video is not Little Mix, then I don't really think it's doing that hot.
For Think About Us, there were, I don't even know how to describe this. There were these, not transitions, but these added in scenes where they had like almost like a vintage look on them, and
Yes,
it
I hated those.
wasn't consistent.
No, they
I
were the
think
weirdest stylistic choices ever. Not ever.
if they would have stuck to that the entire time, I think I would have liked it a lot better. But just like stylistically, it was very random, which
It went from like a super highly produced music video to a behind the scenes shot to a vintage, like completely change the width of the camera and the screen, and maybe even they changed the camera or it's just a filter, I don't know, but like it was three very different looks that were happening, and it was weird.
yeah, if they would have stuck to one, I think I would like it a lot better.
At number 18, I have DNA.
I have Love Me Like You.
DNA, I kind of mentioned earlier when she ranked it uh, that I agree the concept is a little funky, especially the superhero bit, and the special effects are horrendous. The reason why I ranked it so high is because I actually really like the noir feel to the whole music video. It doesn't feel like a movie per se, but it feels, it's obviously very heavily inspired by the noir period, and the aesthetic is just really nice, and there's like a femme fatale theme to it that is really an interesting storyline with the song.
With Love Me Like You, I liked the amount of production that was happening in it, because I feel like they had a pretty good story and all that stuff, and they had a lot of ideas around it, but I just don't think it really fits the song very well. And I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the whole prom idea.
Yeah, it feels very kiddish.
Yeah, like I feel like they could have done a more mature version. Which I mean, I guess the whole prom idea fit in well with the era, but looking back, I wish they would have done a little bit of a more mature theme around it.
Yeah, I never really got how the music video related back to the song concept wise. I thought it was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
Just a very immature video for a song that didn't need to be made more immature by a visual, especially since the song is a little bit naughty.
yeah, that's why I was like surprised by it.
Like Jesse says something about like pouring your love into her. Like there are some lyrics in the Jay-Z parts of the songs that are not appropriate for a prom thing. Um,
Yeah, I was imagining more like, I know the song isn't like sad, but like imagining more of like a sad breakup-y feel to the
I think I
video.
would have appreciated maybe a vintage feel to it.
Yeah.
Like even if they had gone back in time with like the dance theme and they had made it maybe seem like a little like 50s or 60s or something, that would have been more interesting.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
You know, cuz that's still that still gives it that kind of immature feel to go with the rest of the get weird kind of era, but it would have given it a more stylized touch. Anyway, number 17 for me is Bounce Back.
I have Word Up.
Bounce Back, I actually don't like a lot of the things about Bounce Back, the video, namely the aesthetic of it, the outfits, the house, the honestly, like the whole aesthetic of it. It's not for me, but everything else about it, most everything else about it is it's just really well done. Like there's a cohesive concept the entire way through that's like a little bit of a got you. I might not like the aesthetic, but it's very well done. And very well like themed and stuck to and consistent. It's definitely has like the sassy, sexy feel the entire way through. And I think the scene at the end pays quite a bit of homage to the original. And I do wish they hadn't learned that end choreography in 10 minutes before trying to shoot it because I think it just would have looked cleaner if they had learned it beforehand and been given time to like rehearse it. But all in all, despite the music video not being to my taste, I still think it was a very well done music video.
So for Word Up, personally, I really like this music video. I think it's like really fun, and you could tell they were all having like a good time while doing it. So it just kind of puts me in like a good mood whenever I watch it. But the only thing that's like slightly ruining it for me is that it's focused on comic relief. So
Mm.
like I feel like that almost taints it a little bit because now every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, comic relief, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it is like a good cause, but yeah, it just kind of limits the things that they can do with it.
Number 16, I have Touch.
I have strip.
Which one do you think is making people hate us more, you or me?
I don't know. I'm stressed. Like, let us explain ourselves.
Okay, so Touch. I know it's a super popular music video that everyone really, really likes. Again, guys, the aesthetic, the bright, like pastel color aesthetic, it reminds me of like Easter. Looks like an Easter egg basket. Um, or like when you like color dye your eggs, you know? I just like to point out that I didn't start laughing.
I've never thought about it that way. No,
It
now
does though, doesn't
I
it?
can't unsee it now. Now it reminds me of Easter. You're right. That's what it. Oh.
So anyway, I'm just like pastels, bright colors, neons, like those aren't my aesthetic. I just don't like them. So automatically it kind of takes it down, and then it reminds me of Easter, which is weird to me. I do like how like choreographed it was, and there are some really cool shots the way it's directed, but the choreography wasn't my favorite by any means. The maze concept is a cool concept, but I felt like we didn't really get that much of a feeling of the maze concept until the very, very end. So I wish we had gotten more of that.
Okay. So strip. Personally, I don't really have that many reasons why it's here. Um, I really liked the whole idea. I liked the video. Honestly, I just didn't really have another place to put it, so it just kind of ended up here. Um, the black and white got a little, um, not boring, but it kind of made the video a little flat and not as.
It looks like a Hanes commercial. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so blunt today. I'm very, very sorry. Normally, I have more tact than this.
Yeah, I don't. It just kind of ended up here because visually there wasn't much to judge it on, like colors and stuff. So overall, it's just a little flat, and there's not a lot to. I don't want to say like a lot to watch because like there's like a huge message in it, but it's not as like fun and colorful in like um one of those videos, which I prefer watching over something that's a little less over the top. So yeah, it just kind of ended up in like the middle of my ranking because I really just didn't have another place to put it.
Number 15, I have Hair.
I have How You Doing.
All right, so I have Hair at 15 because it's kind of another one of those. from the Get Weird era that verges on like could be a rom-com movie. Um but I think it doesn't cross the line too much for me anyway. Like I still think it could just be the concept of a sleepover and not a rom-com movie. It doesn't, it like toes that line for me. Um but honestly, it's ranked up higher because A, it looks like they're having fun, and I'm always going to, and I don't mean like, I mean, they're always quote unquote having fun in their music videos, but like they look like they're genuinely having fun. Like it looks like they're not being choreographed to feel a certain way in a scene. Um, and so I enjoy that it feels a little bit more genuine, a bit more authentic. And then, truth be told, aesthetically, it's more pleasing than a lot of the other ones that I have listed down below. Um, so it's got the cohesive theme, it's got a an aesthetic that I don't mind, and it looks like the girls are having fun.
So for How You doing, that one is higher up than Wings because, like what you said, they're a little bit more comfortable now in front of the camera, and those parts I really enjoy because you can tell that they're having a lot of fun, and it's not as like awkward as like Wings was, but there's still like the little hints of like, oh, I don't know what to do type of thing. But when they're all like just having fun, I really like those parts. Um, and yeah, it's just like a really upbeat music video, so I just really enjoy it.
All right, guys, we are actually going to split this episode into two different parts. So we went through um, the, I guess, like 31 to 15 this time, and then we'll do our top 14 next week. So we look forward to seeing you again. And as always, thank you for all of your support with this podcast. We really appreciate it, and we hope you like it as much as we do. We'll see you next week.